Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love, man. I'm here with another episode of that unveiling of spiritual battle between good versus evil, man. I always tell people, man, do not stay on the fence, man. Pick a side. You trying to go right or left? You right? You fighting with the good or you fighting with the evil? Make sure you pick a side, cause I'm telling you, a side will pick for you, for real. You know, welcome to my channel, man. Whoever never been on my channel, my name is Ethernet J, and you are now tapping in with the Etherverse. My thing is, ether is like an element of nothing and everything at the same time. It's like that void. It's understanding, stillness, space, emptiness, consciousness. Controlling your life and not worrying about what's going on around you. So yeah, man. This is my channel's about. So I like to, react to certain videos. Hopefully I could build up a community where, y'all can share some ideas with me and I'll react to those as well. But some of the videos that I come across on YouTube and on, certain websites, and some of my friends, they'll post and they'll send me some videos as well on the Discord. You know what I mean? It have real deep messages in them. So, I'm here trying to share them with the universe. I'm trying to tap in. I'm trying to help you help me understand this battle. Because every day we wake up, man, it's always going to be a new one. I'm always fighting the battle. So, man, that's why I always try to meditate. I don't even try. I actually do it. I work hard in self-mastery, becoming a better person, being quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to rise up to anger. I work hard every day on that, man. I listen to the word. I read the Bible. I believe in God. And I'm fighting on the side of good. And I understand that things that we see physical, shit, it really don't exist. The things we see physical, man, sometimes is a facade. It's manipulation. And I'm just out here trying to overcome that battle between the two. It's like that Plato play where you start seeing the light, you start seeing the truth. You don't want to go back to the lies. You know what I mean? The lies seems like it's nothing or it never really existed. And that's where I'm at with it. But I could talk your head off all day on my beliefs. But instead of doing that, man, I want to get to this video. So let's do it.
Booty, go on and get in the camera. Yeah, this is for Keisha because you clearly ain't learned your lesson the first time. Tell her what the I said.
I can't focus.
Louder.
I can't with you no more.
Cause what?
You messing up my family.
Now.
How can some
Yo, it's already starting off with that entity. It's already starting off. Y'all see what's going on? First of all, the roles look reversed in that relationship. 1. 2, why they doing all this on social media? You know what I'm saying? All these activities, all these actions they doing, it's too prideful. You know what I'm saying? They already tapping into something that don't look like it's going to end well. But let's continue.
someone pretend that they didn't know what was going on with her, and all this time they knew what the heck was going on? Like, you must have played it out real good for thinking nobody was going to come out and do nothing.
We didn't see any signs, no signals. It wasn't like she was coming around us with black eyes or anything like that. So there was none of that.
Making the murder a shock.
He called my
It is
son
definitely
Dookie
betrayal.
Booty.
You ever scroll through TikTok and see those couples who seem too perfect? Take Winter Straw. On the outside, her relationship looked fun, even sweet. But behind the scenes, it was full of control, manipulation, and violence. Until it ended in murder. Then there's Jessica Edwards. She was a new mom trying to find her balance. But instead of support, she faced resentment that turned into something much worse. And Kayana and Ronald Burns? A TikTok famous power couple who built a whole brand on success and family values. But behind the scenes, their marriage was falling apart under financial pressure, emotional turmoil, and ultimately, a shocking murder-suicide. 3 couples, 3 relationships that played out in front of millions, and 3 stories that prove couple goals aren't always what they seem. This is the story of TikTok couples that were so toxic, they killed each other.
Can you look at that, man? Look at that. When they build that facade, that manipulation, or that relationship that, oh, this is one of the best relationships ever. And when you and sometimes the consumers, the people that's watching, looking in, they think that, oh, that's relationship goals, man. I better stop playing, man. I better stop playing and overcome. Stop playing and overcome. It was so tough, man. Is the people from our culture.
This incident started at about 6 o'clock on
They all
Sunday
black.
night near the 700 block of Mallet Hill Road.
Winter Straw was just 25 years old, a bright and bubbly young woman with dreams that stretched beyond TikTok. She had a devoted family and a passion for helping people. Because of her passion for helping people, she decided to become a lawyer.
Was a good friend, good sister, great daughter. All around just a good person, a rising star.
A rising star. If you met her, you loved her.
Every time
And if
people
you
talk
never
about
met her,
the only thing I don't be liking, man, but I can't stand is when the parents, people talk about them. They was just this great
But
person.
while she worked towards that, she became an influencer who had a growing presence on TikTok. She shared dance videos, beauty tips, and snapshots of her seemingly picture-perfect relationship with Renardo Johnson.
Who was interested first? Who said I love you first? Who's more protective? Who cleans more? Who eats the most? Who spends the most money? Who is most likely to start an argument? Who falls asleep first? Who is more annoying? Who loves the hardest?
But behind the filters and the viral clips, their love was anything but healthy. And eventually,
Ain't no real
those
love.
dreams she had were cut short by the same man who claimed to love her.
there's no warning signs.
You know what's crazy though?
Which is
I realized, man, I feel like men clean more than women. For real. Man, that's just my opinion, man. If y'all tell me who y'all feel clean more, women or men in a relationship, man. Y'all write that down in the comments below.
the hard part about it.
She was just a beautiful spirit that, didn't deserve nothing.
Winter met
I ain't gonna lie,
Renardo when
nobody
she was
deserves
just
to
a
die, for
teenager.
real.
Their
Not in the
relationship
hands of
was
murder
intense from the
and
start,
crime.
full of passion, but also constant fighting. According to Winter's friends, Winter often posted cryptic messages about love and heartbreak, but they didn't fully understand.
But y'all heard when they did that who do the most, right? Y'all said who, you see what they said, who was quick to start an argument, who was chosen, right? So I'm saying all that, oh, she was so sweet. Oh my, she was this beautiful soul. I get it. But she still was fighting a battle that she didn't really overcome. Because she's very argumentative, very quarrelsome. Not saying that, I'm not sure who died or who, in this relationship. But I'm not saying that anybody deserves to die because of it. But still, don't always try to make it seem like this person is just so good or so great. Nah, stop. Everybody got their battles that they need to overcome. Everybody, majority of people on this earth, heart is cold. So, sometimes I just, I have empathy, of course. But more time I want to hear that BS, man. Let's get down to the facts. Let's talk the truth. She was a little demon. You know what I'm saying? She had that spirit in her, and so did he.
Understand what was going on behind the scenes because in front of the camera, Winter's boyfriend, Renardo Johnson, seemed like the perfect partner. He seemed devoted to his wife, even to the point of hoping online to tell other girls that were in his DMs to back off because they were messing with his family.
Little Dookie Booty, go on and get in the camera.
Dookie Booty is crazy.
This is for Keisha, because you clearly ain't learned your lesson the first time. Tell her what the I said. Louder.
I can't with you no more.
Cause what?
You messing up my family.
Now.
But that was just an act, and those closest to Winter began to see red flags. Small, barely noticeable at first, but they were there. Renardo was possessive. He hated the attention Winter got online. As her TikTok following grew, so did his paranoia. He would check her phone, question her about messages, and guilt trip her into spending less time online. But her family saw none of this, because Winter kept it hidden.
We didn't see any signs, no signals. It wasn't like she was coming around us with black eyes or anything like that. So there was none of that.
Making the murder a shock.
It is definitely a betrayal.
As Renardo became more and more obsessed with controlling Winter, their fans on TikTok began to notice the toxic pattern in their relationship and started commenting that Winter needed to leave him for her own safety. But in response, Winter and Renardo made a TikTok making fun of the people who were trying to advise her to stay away from him.
I can survive 6 days. Shit, she playing around. I'm telling yo. Social media is dangerous.
Scenes, Renardo was getting even more paranoid, accusing Winter of encouraging the men in her comments section by posting videos they could thirst over. Winter, of course, didn't see it that way. TikTok was her job. It was what put food on the table. So to her, she was just doing her job. One night, after an explosive argument over a TikTok post, Renardo snapped. Winter had posted a TikTok hinting at a breakup, a video that would be her last. Renardo, in a fit of rage, confronted her. Neighbors reported hearing screaming and crashing sounds, but when police arrived, they found Winter lifeless, her life extinguished in minutes.
This was not a spur-of-the-moment thing. The young man, it was premeditated. He thought about his actions, and he carried them out.
Renardo had attempted to take his own life afterward, but survived. He later confessed that he couldn't bear the thought of Winter leaving him, saying if he couldn't have her,
you're not even able to take your own life.
Because this man looked me in my eyes all the time. And whenever I would talk to him, I'd say, I'm giving you my child, a wholehearted, bubbly personality.
Stop, man, stop.
Winter's mother was devastated, shattered, betrayed by the man she had once welcomed into her home. A man who promised her he would return her daughter to her exactly as he'd met, laughing and happy.
And he always assured me he would never do anything.
There's a battle between evil and evil.
She says Winter's death has given the family a new purpose.
We want to make it clear.
They both was fighting a battle.
Domestic violence is not a joke.
Instead, she came home in a body
that gives
bag.
him no right
Winter's
to kill her,
death
though.
hit her family hard. They were a close-knit family who couldn't understand how they could have missed that she was suffering and needed their help.
When people think of Winter, I wouldn't think of just a sweet, innocent girl who was out here trying to make her
people
mom
don't belong
proud,
in relationships, man.
make
Relationships.
her family proud, and just to do what she loved most.
I'm the baby of my family, and so she was my little sister, and so it just hurt me so
People's hearts are too cold, man, for relationships, man.
For her. I was right down the street. I just wish she would have called.
Her death was yet another reminder of how toxic love can be deadly, and her family was determined to make sure it wasn't in vain.
It's not something that we should take lightly. For those of you that are posting on Facebook and doing all that unnecessary stuff, I don't care what a person does to you. You don't have the right to take her life.
I agree with that.
You don't have the right to put your hands on nobody.
Tuesday was the anniversary of the night Winter was lost to another.
That's a fact. Like, I know for a fact she wasn't innocent. You know what I mean? She was definitely not innocent. But nobody has the right to take the life just because she posting explicit videos or showing off her body parts, or, you know, I don't feel like no human being should go into rage over that at all. That shit is, you know what I'm saying, unjustifiable, bro. But that's just the insecurities and the spiritual warfare that we all go through in our bodies, man. Humans, for real. A lot of humans on this earth, hearts are cold, man. They're cold, bro. And they don't even care about themselves. So you think they're gonna care about another person's life? He tried to take his own life, but failed. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a coward. My boy don't know he ain't taking his own life. He crazy, but he quick to take someone else's life and say, and then if he really said that allegedly, that if he can't have it, nobody else can, that goes to show you the hearts and people. You feel me? The hearts and people. They have none. Man, it's like a big hole in their heart, man. It's dangerous, man. I don't even think people should be dating right now. Especially what's going on this earth, man. Everybody should be trying to self-heal. Everybody, mostly everybody. To try to self-heal from the traumas and the things they went through in their life or from their childhood. Because it should stem from somewhere.
Another case of domestic violence in this state. Her coworkers wanted to use that day to bring light to the love she shared instead.
And Winter wasn't the only one who believed she was safe. Jessica Edwards thought she was too.
This is a shame that these girls and these babies and these kids, these mothers, we have to grieve because somebody decided they wanted to take God into their hands. It's just too much.
Playing God, right? 3 stories, man. Back to back like Drizzy Drake.
Friends and family are still searching for a missing mother from South Windsor. They gathered at Hartford at Riverside Park today to continue looking for Jessica Edwards. It's been a week since the 30-year-old
I'm not saying
was
that
last
these women
seen by her family.
You see,
Jessica Edwards was the
I'm not saying that these women are saints, because they most likely not. Very argumentative, very quarrelsome. But these men's are cowards, bro. These men's are weak. They nuts be in they girls' book bags and purses and shit. And when all that boils over, you feel me? All that emotions or the, you know what I'm saying, the hurt or the disrespect boil over, they lash out. And we all know, you know what I'm saying, majority of the times men are more stronger than women physically. So when the demon possesses a man, that girl don't have no chance. Man, listen. I advise every man on this earth, man, focus on yourself. Stop falling to these lustful acts. Stop falling victim to the physical, man. It's more deeper than that, man. Look, see, one thing, women are emotional creatures. Men are physical creatures, for sure. So, our physical, we don't have any kind of empathy and things like that. It's hard for us to have, man. We have to build that. We have to grow with that over time. And most men, especially from our culture, black men, they're raised by single parents. They've been raised in a single parent household, majority from women. So they don't even know how to become a man. They don't even know how to deal with certain situations. So the only thing they do is lash out, you know, let their emotions get the best of them. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no kind of emotional intelligence. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But it all boils down to every human being hearts are cold. And every human being on this earth are going through a hidden warfare against good versus evil. But people don't want to see that until it's too late. Now, lives are destroyed. Families destroyed. But man, who else we got to blame, man? But ourselves. Because when we reach a certain age, we can't blame our parents. Because we know better. We all was born with the discernment to decipher what's good and what's bad. I mean, somewhere down the line of growing up, I feel like the influences, you know, the upbringing had an impact on our judgment. But I feel like we get that back, and when we start gaining consciousness of self, and being able to understand certain things, deal with reasoning. So all the choices we make at a certain age in our life, man, is all because of us. We cannot blame nobody else. We have to learn how to overcome and forgive. And when we forgive and things like that nature, and we get conscious of that, I believe that we could turn the tides of the way we was raised, whether good or bad. And these videos right here is showing us, man. It's showing us it ain't easy, but it can get done. So I just, my advice to everybody on this earth, man, is to love yourself, know yourself, meditate with yourself, and know God, man. Know God. Know God. That's why they call me Ethernet J, man. I'm tapped into that ether spirit. I'm tapped into the godly spirit. I'm tapped into the spirit of self. And with that, man, you have a chance to overcome. All right, let's get into this next story.
Kind of person who lit up a room. If you knew her, you loved her. If you didn't, you probably wished you did. Jessica graduated from East Hartford High School in 2009, then went on to Eastern Connecticut State University, where she earned her bachelor's degree in English. But she didn't stop there. She had a heart for helping people, so she got her master's in social work from Simmons College in Boston. And that still wasn't enough. She wanted to work in healthcare, so she went back to school to get a degree in respiratory care at Manchester Community College. She was literally days away from graduating, but she never got to walk across that stage. Somewhere along the way, Jessica met Taj Hutchinson. He was 8 years younger than her, just 22 at the time of her death. It's
8 years
unclear
younger than her?
exactly how they met, but at some point, things got serious. They got married, had a baby, and started a life together. Now,
she just said 8 years younger than her? First of all, that's not even, it don't even sound right. Why she dating that baby? Man, that boy don't even know how to, man, he barely know how to probably wash his own drawers, man. He ain't gonna be right for you. He ain't overcome nothing. You know that you going through short, man, rest in peace, man. But that was a disaster waiting to happen, man. 8 years younger? Man, listen, I'm not dating no girl older than me. I don't need no mother. I got a mom. So y'all wildin'. Y'all tripping. Y'all bugging out. 8 years younger than me? No. You know what I'm saying? I can't help her. She had way more experience than me. She's been through a lot more turmoil and things like that than I have. Especially if he was young. He's still trying to understand himself. You think he overcame the spirit yet? You feel me? You think he got emotional intelligence? Trying to tell you, people put themselves in. I'm saying sometimes you have empathy for these situations, but people put themselves in these terrible situations, man. They put themselves in it.
To the outside world,
knowing that it's
they
a
looked
disaster
like your
waiting to
average
happen.
young couple, balancing work, school, and parenthood. But behind closed doors, it was a different story.
South Windsor police are working with state and federal authorities to try to track her down.
I'll be meeting with the town manager and the police chief tomorrow, and we're going to look at all the resources that we have to try to help in this effort to bring Jessica home safely.
On May 10th, 2021, Jessica vanished.
If you know anything about Jessica's whereabouts, call police.
Her husband, Taj, went on social media and played the role of the worried husband. He posted emotional messages like,
"It's another lonely and worrisome night without you, my love. Son, and I miss you so much. I don't have an appetite to eat or sleep knowing that you aren't here with me. Every time I came home, you were always there taking care of our beautiful son that we created. Whenever I was down, you always lifted me up. I've never even been so many days without you. My heart is broken right now, shattered, and my emotions all mixed up. Please, please, please,
You ain't got no
wherever
emotion,
you are, come
intellect.
back safely.
He wanted people to believe that Jessica had just walked away, that she left her baby, her family, and her entire life
Woman ain't,
behind.
that's rare.
I love
That's
you
a rare
and need you
case.
so much, and our son worries about you too. I feel like he barely wants to eat. Please,
That boy don't even know
I
what's
love
going
you
on.
so much.
But her family, they weren't buying it. Something wasn't right.
New documents just released on the death of Jessica Edwards. Today, her husband will head to court charged in her death.
Turns out,
Amazing.
Jessica had argued with Taj the night before Mother's Day. It was
Wow.
over a gift, a pair of guinea pigs that Taj had bought for her.
And the arrest warrant, it states the day before Mother's Day, Hutchinson bought Edwards guinea pigs as a gift and she was angry about it. On Mother's Day, their argument led to a physical confrontation.
Now, was she upset because she hated guinea pigs? Maybe. But what really mattered was how that argument escalated. By the next morning, the fight turned physical.
According to police, he said he pushed her, which caused her ear to bleed. The next day on Monday morning, according to the warrant, their arguing continued, and this time, she said Edwards hit him in the head with a laptop, grabbed a kitchen knife, and he pinned her to the ground.
Jessica fought back. She hit him with a laptop. She grabbed a knife. She was defending herself. But Taj was bigger and stronger. He pinned her to the ground, kneeling on her neck and back, just like what happened to George Floyd. She struggled. She tried to breathe. And then she stopped moving.
And eventually, she stopped moving and died. Later
Damn.
that same day, Edward's sister went to Hutchinson's home on Cinnamon Springs Road in South Windsor. Police say she told them she saw in the trunk of his Jeep what appeared to be a blanket covering a body.
Taj left her there, lying on the floor, for hours while their 7-month-old baby was in the house. Then he wrapped her body in a blanket, put her in the trunk of his Jeep, and drove her to a remote wooded area in East Hartford, where he dumped her like trash. And while everyone was searching for Jessica, crying, posting her face all over social media, Taj was out here acting like nothing happened. Even when Jessica's sister showed up at his house demanding answers, he played dumb until she saw something inside his trunk.
As she demanded him to open up the trunk, Hutchinson sped off. She also told police she found divorce papers filled out by Edwards but was never filed.
It was a body, wrapped up. She screamed at him to open the trunk, but Taj panicked. He sped off before she could do anything.
In the documents, he went on to say he drove to a random GPS location and dragged the body to a wooded area, which is where Edwards was eventually found on Friday by Driver Road in East Hartford.
And that's when police really started looking at him.
How can someone pretend that they didn't know what was going on with her, and all this time they knew what the heck was going on? Like, you must have played it out real good for thinking nobody was going to come out and do nothing.
Taj's story kept changing. First, he said Jessica had left with friends. Then, he said she got aggressive and he was just defending himself.
Jessica Edwards was first discovered missing May 10th. Her husband, 22-year-old Taj Hutchinson, initially claimed she got into a car that morning with friends and never returned. Police doubted that story and searched areas in South Windsor, Manchester, and East Hartford, finally finding her body in a wooded East Hartford area May 21st. Hutchinson was arrested that evening.
Jessica's body was found 11 days later, and Taj was arrested. He was charged with manslaughter at first, but the truth was clear. He murdered his wife, and after months of investigation, his charge was upgraded to murder.
He later confessed to having a physical altercation that led to Edwards' death. Now, after months of investigation, the initial charge of manslaughter has been upgraded to murder.
Jessica's mother was heartbroken.
No one should have to go through something like this. Nobody should.
And let's not forget, Jessica and Taji's child lost both parents that day.
I
One to
tell you.
murder, the other to prison.
So I was happy. I was elated. Finally,
You can't even be happy about this.
Something has been. I feel like something has been done. Something is being done.
I think that should have been the charge from the beginning. So I believe they gathered enough evidence just to make sure that their case was going to be solid.
In November 2024, Taji stood before a judge and received his sentence, 27 years in prison. For some, it was justice. For others, it wasn't nearly enough. Because the truth is, Jessica should still be here. She should be raising her son, building her career, living her life. Instead, she's another name on the long list of women lost to DV, along with Kierna Burns.
Crazy, man. Battle's been televised, man. And I promise you, I bet you right now, there's still someone going through devastation or the loss of a loved one, of a parent, a mother, a father, still going through the same situation, man. Right now, as we speak, I bet you, because this battle is ongoing, and I don't know if we gonna ever if all humans are ever gonna overcome. Some, I know some are, you know what I'm saying, because it's not all, man. We are all not suffering. I know there's some that overcame, that learned how to forgive, that forgave their parents, that forgave everything that happened to them while they was a child, that that just live with love, man. I feel like there's some people on this earth that's living in perfect peace, for real, with themselves, that know themselves, that they're slow to anger. You know what I mean? They listen, they have empathy, their heart is pure. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's some people on this earth, but shit. Just like the finances, man, there's only 1%ers out here, man. It ain't money. It ain't many. It ain't many. And it's sad. So this is why I like to watch these kinds of videos. I like to talk about I like to talk about these things, because I feel like if we could bring more awareness to it, maybe, just maybe, we could work on overcoming, man, and live on this universe. I'm saying live on this earth together with perfect love, perfect peace, understanding, empathy for one another. But for now, I just gotta show these, man. I gotta show these because I love to see them so I can understand what's going on in humans' hearts, and I can know how I can battle it head on with the salvation, with the strength from God, from His strength and the salvation in me. I pray every day, man. Pray every day. It ain't easy, man. We all go through financial problems. We go through all those things that all those physical things, earthly things, but we don't realize that it ain't about that. It's more deeply about what's going on inside of us, man. You know what I'm saying? All the thoughts that we think about, the past traumas, or the past, we like to dwell on that. Understanding that our thoughts really be playing tricks on us, man. Our thoughts manipulate us, man. I'm telling you, thoughts manipulate human beings, man. I'm telling you, man. Don't listen to your thoughts, man. Understand that it's there and let it pass. Don't worry about what's going on, what's going to happen to you in the future. You can't, because you can't even. How could you even know? When the past is over, when the day is gone, when the day is done, when you go to sleep or whatever you happened to you the day before, that's over with, bro. That's over with. They said. In the story that just passed, they said that they was arguing from the night before, and they started. I heard it. I'm not sure if it's in the Bible, but I used to hear a lot of people say, "Try not to go to sleep mad. Don't go to sleep angry. Don't go to sleep arguing and mad and things like that." Because I'm not sure what happens, man. I don't know if like that will pass on to the next day, or it would dwell in your thought. It would dwell inside of you, and it's never a good thing, man. It's only gonna lead to destruction. We gotta know how to overcome, but we gotta learn how to overcome. But we gotta watch this shit so we can learn how to overcome, bro. I am so adamant on it. Listen to me. I am ready for the world to try to do better, bro. We need to. America is falling. A lot of things is happening in the world. They might be another world war. Hopefully, I'm not alive to see it, or hopefully my kids not alive to see it. I hope that there's not a world war, that we could overcome this battle, because all these physical battles stems up from the spiritual. Man, my condolences goes out to those two families that we just not seeing. Alright, we about to go to the next video, man. Last one. Let's get it.
What's up, y'all? It's snowing outside. You know, still got to work. Still got to go make it happen. Get up because you want to, not because you have to. And that's where we've positioned ourselves in our life, that we get up because we want to, not necessarily because we have to. But the fight is never finished.
This is
Kiana
clinical motivation.
and Ronald Burns weren't just a couple, they were a brand. They built their lives around inspiring others, teaching people how to be successful entrepreneurs.
Hi, I'm Ronald Burns, and this is my lovely wife, Kiana Burns.
Hi.
Today we're going to talk to you about entrepreneurship and how it greatly benefited our life.
For those that don't know, my husband and myself, we've been entrepreneurs for the last 20 years.
Nice.
And our mission is to bring you guys along to become successful entrepreneurs as well.
And in being in business over 20 years, guys, one of the fundamental things that we believe is that you should never spend all of your business time building somebody else's business.
Kiana and Ronald weren't just talking about success, they lived it. Originally from St. Louis, Missouri, they built their brand from the ground up. They ran For His Glory Ministries, a faith-based motivational platform, and owned Critique Design's beauty and barber salon, where they helped others build careers.
You should be in a position of leverage income where you make money that doesn't require your time. So one of the things that we're going to teach you is, what does the wealthy people understand that the poor people don't? They understand how to make money without their touch. We've been taught to go to school, get a great education, graduate, and get a good job. How about go to school, get an education if you choose to, and go own the business where your money doesn't require your touch, because you only have 24 hours in a day.
For over 20 years, they
Preach,
were business
man.
partners
Preach,
in
man. Stop
everything:
talking.
love, life, and money. But in 2021, they decided to take a leap. They packed up their lives, moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and planned to expand their empire.
Atlanta,
to their
listen.
followers, they looked unstoppable. But in reality, the move wasn't easy.
Yo, Atlanta is the city of the demons, man. I keep saying that, man. I always see this, man. Atlanta, Georgia is horrible. It's horrible. Listen, I don't know about anybody move to Atlanta, man, unless you're prepared for what, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have to, come across, the hurdles that you're going to have to jump. Trust me, man. I'm talking to y'all through experience. I thought New York was bad. Shit, Atlanta ain't no better. Careful when you move to Atlanta, man. There's a lot of demons out there. A lot. Lustful. A lot of partying, drugs, alcohol, guns, violent. Man, there's a lot of death going on out there, man. For real. Be careful with Atlanta, man. Careful.
I just felt the need to hop on here for just a moment, not long at all, and kind of just talk about, life changes.
Just a few weeks before the tragedy, Kiana went live on Facebook, and what she said, it hit differently after what happened. She wasn't her usual bubbly self. Instead, she looked drained, exhausted, and on edge.
But look, y'all, I'm telling you, if you don't stay prayed up,
stay away from Atlanta, man.
Keep faith.
Atlanta would destroy you.
Things can swivel in and take you out.
At the time, people thought she was just talking about business struggles, but was she hinting at something deeper?
For those that don't know, about 5-6 months ago, my husband and myself, we moved to Atlanta to expand our business.
She also admitted that moving to Atlanta had been harder than expected.
I'm telling you guys, the transition, it wasn't necessarily a smooth one. It wasn't a hard one either, but it was something that we chose to do. And when you come to a new state or city, and you're trying to learn people, and you're trying to learn, the things that they do, and that can be challenging. And coming here with our kids, just us and our kids, it's just us.
And then she said something that now feels chilling.
And if you don't feel like you're a strong enough individual, some things may take you out.
Was she reaching out for help? Was she warning us? Or was she already losing control?
Honestly, if I'm being totally, perfectly honest, I'm
Baby
having
from
one
Atlanta.
right
It was
now.
good for 20
and the
years.
reason I'm going live is because sometimes you gotta reach out and tell people that you need love.
I guess about 7 months ago, something like that, 7 months, 6, 7 months ago, when my wife and myself, we decided we was gonna get a divorce, that we ain't gonna be with each other no more. It was
You
just,
moved
we just
to
done
Atlanta?
with each other.
Here's where things get even more complicated.
Let me tell you something. He moved to Atlanta, man. The demons started wandering around. I'm telling you, and I promise you, I didn't see this video, but I promise you, other women had something to do with the decision of trying to get a divorce. Watch.
Complicated. Around 6 months before the murder, Ronell revealed something shocking. He and Kayana had actually planned to get a divorce.
She was tired of me, I was tired of her. We was gonna go on about our business. And as we sat in the truck and we said, hey, you know what, if we're gonna get a divorce, let's be civil. You know, we got kids, we got businesses. We said, well, let's just sit down and just talk about how this all gonna work out. Meaning from a business aspect.
They literally wrote everything down. Who would take what? How the businesses would be split.
How we was gonna divide the business. And she go her way and I go my way, but we didn't want to compromise and jeopardize everybody else's future because we was tripping. Let's not destroy our businesses. Let's not tear each other's name down. Let's not do none of that because there's kids, there's family members.
But then they changed their minds.
By the time the night had reached us, God had changed our heart. And I started thinking back to Jesus when he was on the cross.
They stayed together, but had they already crossed a point of no return? On November 6th, 2021, something snapped. Inside their luxury apartment in Sandy Springs, Georgia, an argument escalated into something no one saw coming. Kayana, the same woman who preached strength and faith, grabbed a firearm. She fired at Ronell, and then she turned the firearm on herself. When police arrived, they found both of them dead. A murder-suicide. No history of DV. No past police reports. No warning signs, except for that eerie Facebook Live. So what really happened between Kayana and Ronell? Some say it was financial pressure.
That's crazy.
That starting over in a new city put too much strain on them. Some believe their marriage was broken long before the move, and staying together only made things worse. And some think Kayana had reached a breaking point, one she never spoke about until it was too late.
Yo.
Hey, thank you for watching. Our
Wow,
deepest sympathies
that's
go to the
crazy,
family and
man.
friends of Winter Straw, Jessica Edwards, and Kayana.
She picked up the firearm, killed her husband, and turned it on herself and killed herself. I'm telling you, man, it's dangerous out here, man. It's a battle, man. It's a battle. And we just gotta know, we gotta see it, understand it, and overcome it, man. When we do that, man, we'll live with heaven on earth. Like I always said, man, it's a spiritual battle between good versus evil. You gotta pick a side. You cannot stay on the fence. Cannot stay on the fence.